welcome to module 2 of the soul contract. I am so excited to have you back here for another module. I'm sorry if you can hear music in the background. My dad is napping and he naps to music because, you know, that's what you love to do. So I thought it was sacred anyway, and I'm all about following through with your commitments regardless of your external environment. So that's what we're doing. We're showing up regardless, right? So today's module is all about health and fitness, that sacred vessel of yours. So the first thing I want to talk about is that we chose this body. And sometimes, as hard as that is to believe, we chose this sacred vessel. I chose this flesh sack to come into this life experience because this is the flesh sack that was able to bring me my desired mission in the best possible way, in a way that was the highest serving for everyone involved, the highest good of everyone involved. This is the vessel I chose to deliver this message. It had to come from this body, this sacred body. And just like everything, energy is everything and everything is energy. And my sacred vessel holds so much energy. Have you ever heard the quote, as above, so below? As without, so within. So within me resides an entire universe, a microcosm, right? Within my sacred vessel. There are so many minute cells that I couldn't even begin to explain to you, even on a scientific level, because it is beyond comprehension. There is so much energy held within our bodies. So we can't necessarily control everything, but what we can control is how we nourish this sacred vessel. So the first concept I want to talk to you about is a concept called energy transference. And this came to me during a meditation recently, and I've actually written about it in my book. I've always been very sensitive to food, like extremely sensitive. Now I'm vegan, I eat predominantly clean. I do have my occasional binge days and I have my occasional sugar fixes and all of those things. And I do come from an eating disorder background. I suffered with body dysmorphia and then binge eating disorder for a while. I've fully recovered from that. But I understand how our bodies are very receptive to the energy held in food. And I always thought it was because there were so many toxins and chemicals in food, especially sugar. Like as soon as I eat refined sugar, like I swell like a balloon, my face is puffy, I feel really uncomfortable, I can't digest, all of these symptoms. And then recently a revelation came through me, and that's the concept of energy transference. So for example, let's say I'm eating something that has 25 ingredients in them. Most of them I don't even know what they are. They're like chemicals or preservatives or added flavors and colors and etc., etc., etc. Let's say it's, I don't know, a piece of bread. Okay, so the wheat farmer that day was having a really bad day. He was worried about the drought, and as he's planting the seeds and watering the crops and whatever else he's doing, he is not feeling good. He's angry, he's frustrated, he's annoyed, he's sad, he's all of these feelings. That emotion transfers into the work that he's doing. It cultivates within the wheat and it grows and it expands, and that energy is held within that ingredient. Okay, now let's say the chemist that created the preservative for the bread had an argument with their partner that day, and she's come into work, and as she's working, she's thinking about the fight or argument she had with her partner, and that energy is being transferred into the chemical she's creating, or the preservative that then's going to be planted as an ingredient in this bread. Now let's say the soybean farmer that day, I don't know, their kid was just messing around and doing something at school and rebelling or whatever it was, and they're frustrated about that day. So we have a whole list of possibilities of contained energy within ingredients that then come into like a piece of bread, and I think I'm eating this piece of bread and I'm praying upon it and I'm sending gratitude to it, and that's great, but it still holds energy. As much as I bless it, it still holds energy, and that energy is then transferred into my sacred vessel. So my rule has always been earth to plate as often as possible, so as few ingredients as possible. That's why I like to eat organic. That's why I like to eat as many nutrient dense fruits and vegetables, things that I can see, ingredients that I can count. That doesn't mean that I don't eat bread, of course I do. That doesn't mean that I don't eat processed food, of course I do. But I try to be mindful of what I'm consuming and how much of it goes into my body, because it is incredibly sacred and I do want to keep my energy clear. And that also includes not just what I'm eating, that also includes when, as I just said, I prey upon my food. I'm grateful for my food. I intend for love to be the energy of my food as it goes through my body. I'm kind to my body. I look at my body, and we all struggle with this, but I try to be as kind to my body as possible. I honor her and I tell her how grateful I am of her, and I send her loving thoughts. And some days I'm like, I'm bloated and I'm uncomfortable, and have I put on weight, or why isn't this moving, or why this or why that? And then I'm like, gee, send her love, because she holds you. She holds you. She lets you live this life fully. Yeah, she's working the best she can for you to keep you alive. Every cell in my body, 35 trillion cells, their sole purpose is to keep me alive. Like, can you imagine that? You thought you weren't special? Damn, like that's mind-blowing. 35 trillion cells are working and their sole purpose is to keep me functioning. That's incredible. And I'm so humbled by that knowledge and that wisdom. And that's why it's my duty to keep her safe and clean as much as possible. So that also means clearing my chakras. If something's out of whack, if my heart is closed or my mind is overthinking and I've blocked my third eye, I need to clear that shit. I need to work on clearing that shit. So consume high vibe food. All right, organic if possible, as clean as possible. That doesn't mean not have your treat days and consume processed foods, but try to keep them to a minimum. I'm like an 80-20 split. So 80% of the time I cook at home, I try to use very clean ingredients, and 20% of the time I'm gonna eat the bread and I'm gonna eat the processed food. I love sweets, but again, I try as clean as possible. Like Loving Earth is really great, and Pana chocolate, because it's organic, very few ingredients, very simple, no refined sugars. So I try to keep my treats clean as well. But once in a blue moon, I'll have my lotus cookie butter spread and I'll literally eat it with the spoon. So it happens, it's fine, and I'm very forgiving with myself for that. I don't hold any resentment or anger or guilt when it comes to food, because I know that most of the time I'm really honoring this sacred vessel, and sometimes I got to honor my soul and what it calls for. And then it's about moving this body. This body wants to move. We are so stagnant. We sit at desks, we don't move, we don't hug, we don't express ourselves, we don't dance. We're very stagnant. I find myself very still, very stiff. And sometimes I'm just like, gee, your body wants to move. She's a sacred vessel and she wants to be moved. So I commit to a daily workout. I go to the gym every single day. I move her as much as she wants to be moved. I really let her go to full capacity at the gym. I do weight training, I do high intensity training, and sometimes I turn on the music in my room and I fucking dance. Like I dance and I move my body. I have dance parties with my sister, with my friends. I'm all cosmic and like a genie moving in a mystical, divine feminine way. And this is about embodying the divine feminine, regardless of your gender. This is about embodying the divine feminine, because the divine feminine wants to flow. She wants to move with the cosmic rhythm of the universe. That's what she wants. She craves that, and that keeps her clear. That keeps her flowing. Think about in your room when the air goes stale, you want to open up the windows and the doors and let the air flow. The same with your body. The energy wants to flow through you. So you have to keep the momentum going, the rhythm going. It doesn't want to stay still. When it stays still, it goes stale and it dies, right? So instead we want to move the vessel. So throughout your day, be intentional and try to think, how can I move my sacred vessel today? Whether it's to get up and stretch, whether it's to do a little quick 5-minute dance, whether it's to just play with the movements, to record yourself, to go out dancing, to do some yoga, to go to the gym, to go for a walk, to go for a swim, whatever it is, move that sacred vessel and let the energy flow through you. So what I've provided for you this week is a free 1-week exercise energy eating challenge. So it basically has everything you need for this week. It is a 1-week eating plan. You can customize it to suit your needs and your desires. It is completely plant-based. Obviously, I'm vegan and I promote a plant-based diet. I really do believe that food holds energy, like I just talked to you about energy transference. So if an animal has suffered through its life and through its murder, then the frequency of that pain is held within it. And so if you consume meat and dairy products, that energy is then transferred to you. I believe the same for vegetables and fruits and all of that, just like what I explained to you, but it's especially dominant in meat products, and that's because there's an emotion attached to it. It was a sentient being, and that sentient being had feelings, and that feelings are like our most amplified energy source. And that's why feelings create vibration, and that vibration is held within the meat. And once you consume it, it fills your body with toxicity. And I really do believe that. And that's why I promote a plant-based diet. But please, again, honor your truth, whatever your truth is. This isn't a course about preaching and my ideals. It's about you honoring your truth, whatever that is. But I do recommend a high vibe, nutrient dense diet. I do recommend a plant-based diet, but again, customize it to whatever you like. I have included 3 main meals, 2 snacks. If that's too much food, customize. If it's not enough food, customize, add some more, whatever you need. I've got all the recipes included. Plus I have a 1-week exercise plan as well that you can do either at home or in the gym. You need just some basic equipment. And if you don't have those pieces of equipment, improvise, right? Like sometimes when I'm traveling, I use like water bottles, and I use like rice sacks, and I use whatever's around me that I can just get my hands on to, use some extra weight or resistance. So whatever it is, I want you to commit to this 1-week experience. And even if you have your own system, like if you go to the gym, if you eat a certain way, try to challenge yourself to really commit to that and see how it affects your mood and your body and what feelings come up for you during that process. So that's available for you this week. It's all about honoring this sacred vessel that we chose during this experience. And what I would also recommend and add is for you to choose a few body positivity mantras that you incorporate into your process, especially if you do have a sometimes toxic relationship with your body and your vessel. So things like, I love you, I honor you, I respect you, I nurture you, I nourish you. Everything that I put in my body nourishes me and keeps me thriving and working at fullest capacity, whatever is necessary. This is amazing. I am so happy you're here. As I said to you in module 1, I'm going to try and keep these very short because I want them to be tangible. I want them to be applicable. I want you to be able to take something from this and apply it now. It's incredibly important that we use this wisdom, that we apply it, even if it's stuff that you think you already know. I promise you there's a shift in the way you see it now. All right, subconsciously, we've just planted a seed. We're nurturing that seed. We're watering the seed. Do the activities in the workbook. Challenge yourself. Push yourself. Commit to this work so that we can observe the expansion of it. It's incredibly powerful. Now, again, if this is incredible and you love this, but you want a more intimate experience, I do offer a one-on-one coaching program called The Sacred Wisdom Within. All the details are available on the course homepage. You can just click the link at the bottom. All the information is there. That was divinely, intuitively led from me as well, as much as this course was. So if you do want that, please reach out to me. Click on the link, message me, whatever you need. Otherwise, I will see you next week for another module. I love you so much. Module 3, and enjoy. Peace. I'll see you soon.